Hello everybody, my name is Zen, and I've got some good news for you if you love Terraria, especially modded Terraria, because Calamity is now available for Terraria 1.4, which is rather shocking. So if you don't know what's going on with modded Terraria or anything like that, just last month or at the beginning of June, the Tmodloader team switched from doing essentially an alpha build of the Tmodloader 1.4 to having two different branches, so a stable branch of 1.4 and then an experimental branch, and you could choose between one or the other. The result was that a couple of larger mods, I would say, you know, not small mods like Fargo Soul Mod, got updated immediately to 1.4, and that's really fun. And we've been doing a playthrough of Fargo Soul Mod, in fact, and if you want to see that, I'll put a link in the description to that particular series. Now, we weren't necessarily expecting any of the larger mods to be ported over to 1.4 for several months, honestly, or maybe even longer than that, just because of how complex some of the larger mods are, plus the interactions with things like whips for summoners and how does that work with adding a bunch of new summoner weapons and whatnot. Like there's a lot of stuff in the background of these larger mods that would take a while to port over, even if they've been working on it for a while with the alpha branches of Tmodloader 1.4. Now, the funny story is I was sitting last night and working up, you know, late, and I had my YouTube queue going. I was checking my subscriptions and I was like, why does Tmodloader have a video premiering at like 1:35 in the morning? And so I waited up for like 10 minutes for the premiere and went ahead and watched it. And I was expecting the video to be like, hey, we're working on it. It's getting there. It's really close. Because even the description of the video, it's like, it's coming. It's like, we're getting close. And then right at the end of the video, it's like, it is available now. And sure enough, I jumped on and just started checking it out, which is really cool and exciting. And I want to talk about Calamity in Terraria 1.4 just briefly, and then talk about my plans for it, because of course I do a lot of Terraria stuff on the channel currently, and I've done 2 complete Calamity playthroughs of Mage and Rogue, and you know, we gotta jump in on 1.4 and see what changes are going to be there and how things are affected. So first and foremost, let's talk about what my plans are, because I did just start the Fargo Soul Mod playthrough, and I say just start, but we're on Deerclops. We're about to get to Deviant, and it is not an easy mod. It is a very highly skill-based mod. Unlike a lot of Calamity fights that have a lot of randomness to them, the stuff for Fargo Soul Mod isn't necessarily that. It's very pattern-based and something I'm quite enjoying the playthrough of. Now, my plan currently is to just keep doing that and let the Calamity mod simmer for, I don't know, maybe a few weeks and see what kind of updates come to it. And most importantly, see what kind of bug fixes come to it or changes to stuff that they've added. So I think we're going to go a couple weeks and then potentially start a Calamity playthrough alongside a Fargo Soul Mod playthrough. I haven't decided yet because like there's a bunch of other mods that I want to get started as well. Like Mod of Redemption or Spirit Split Mod. Like those are all ones that I want to do. Heck, even if Thorium gets updated to 1.4, it'd be pretty fun to jump in and do, I don't know, the healer class, because we did the bard class the last time we played. But when it comes to this, it's like, do we just wait? Do we just finish Fargo Soul Mod and wait or not? So that's kind of where I'm at now. Let me know in the comments what you would prefer. Would you prefer both going at the same time, where I'm like alternating episodes, or I'm doing like a handful of episodes with Fargo's and then a handful of episodes with Calamity and back and forth? Or would you just want one done and then move on to the next one? Because it would finish a lot faster if I just focused on like Fargo's, right? Also less mod confusion between the two where I'm swapping back and forth, which helps me as a player. But here's the thing. I'm thinking that, because I always do, for these big mods, I always do a poll of like what class I want to play. what class do I want to do the mod? Because I commit to a class and I go through it. Right now in Fargo's, I'm kind of doing a bit of summoner, but I'm not really like locking myself into I'm going to be a summoner for the rest of that. I'm probably going to swap classes here and there as I need to. It's just I'm having fun with the summoner in early hard or in early pre-hard mode, and maybe I switch once we get to hard mode because melee ranger is better stuff than summoner early hard mode. So for me, I'm curious what you guys would want to see for Calamity. You could put it in a comment below, but also on my community page. So if you go to the YouTube channel and then go to community, or if you're subscribed, you'll probably see the vote pop up. I'm going to do a full-on poll of which class. I am going to omit the mage and the rogue because I've done that. It's been done. We won't return to those until we do some other stuff. The ones that I'm going to add, because I'm not going to put ranger on there. Ranger is cool, but I just don't feel it. I'm going to put melee and summoner on there and see what you guys think. Which one would you rather see, melee or summoner? Now, hear me out, because this transitions into what I want to talk about with Calamity. Melee is super cool, but with 1.4, you get even cooler stuff like the Zenith or some of the other changes that they've made to like the Night's Edge and whatnot. So like there's some cool melee changes in there that are potentially really fun to play. With Summoner, you obviously have a huge rework of the Summoner for 1.4. You've got whips, you've got a bunch of new summons like the Flinks, and how would that all play out with Calamity? How are whips going to work? Are they going to have whips available for Calamity stuff in particular? Like, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered there. So if you can, please go vote on that particular poll. Let me know whether you want me to play as melee or summoner in the next Calamity playthrough. Or if you have an argument for something different, let me know that too, because I think that that's always an important thing to hear out. So yeah, I want to know when I should play it and, well, not when, but what I should play and why I should play it. And then if you also want it to go alongside Fargo Soul Mod or wait till afterwards. I think those are fairly important information bits to figure out. And then finally, I do just kind of want to talk about Calamity Bosses because it's something that I've recently had revelations with when considering the mod. Like when I did my mage playthrough, it was before their previous update to Calamity, and I went through it, and it was a bunch of fun. We killed Supreme Calamitous. It was fun. And then they updated it, and I did a rogue playthrough. Now, if you haven't watched that entire series, spoiler alert, I got to Supreme Calamitous, tried it a stupid amount of times. I think it was like over 100 attempts in multiple videos. And I just gave up. I just said, you know what? I've got too much stuff going on at the moment. I just can't commit to playing this for several hours every single night just to try to get Supreme Calamitous down. And when it comes to 1.4, we have Master Mode available. So like, how does the difficulty work with the bosses there? My biggest thing with Calamity is their boss design is awesome, but a lot of it relies on randomness, like Supreme Calamitous in its current form. However, in their little trailer, Supreme Calamitous, while it had similarities, still looked a little different. So I'd be really curious to see how that all plays out. Maybe I go, dabble in the mod on my own and like make a journey mode character and just blast through and get to Supreme Calamitous and see how that is and whether or not, some of those bosses would actually be doable or not. I'm not sure, but it is a consideration of mine because in Fargo's, the bosses are pattern recognition, a lot of them, and I love that. I love the mastery that comes with that. It reminds me of raiding in like World of Warcraft that I did competitively for a very long time. So yeah, I don't really know. I'm kind of split on that. So you guys let me know what you think of what class, how I should be playing it with, whether or not I'm doing alongside Fargo's or not, or I just wait. And then also, what are your thoughts on how the bosses are going to pan out with Master Mode? It's a very interesting concept, because obviously you had like your dynamic difficulties that Calamity had before, and so far, even in the little bag, the little starter bag, I've not seen the thing that allows you to switch it. So we'll see how that ends up working out. I'm very curious. It might just be a journey mode character thing that you're seeing in the background. But yeah, we'll definitely see. However, Calamity is available for you to go play right now, so you could just go check it out. Tell me whether or not a summoner or a melee is cooler. I really want to use the Zenith. The Zenith is one of the coolest weapons in Terraria now, and you get it, and then that's that. It's the end of the game. Once you make the Zenith, it's it. You don't have anything else to do. You're done. You could just go like destroy the Moonlord or whatever boss you want. But in Calamity, you've got a bunch of bosses after the Moonlord, and once you get the Zenith, I'm sure you'll be using it. I'm really curious if there's some new melee weapons that combine with the Zenith and make something even cooler. That'd be pretty freaking rad. So all that being said, thank you guys for watching. We shall see you all next time.